Here's how I would make 10K per month if I had to start again from scratch in the fastest way possible. The first hurdle that I see so many women struggle with is the mindset. The first thing you have to do is make sure that you believe that it's possible to make 10K per month. We've been brought up in a system and being conditioned from such a young age, from school upwards, to believe that you sell your time for money. People have this idea of getting a £27,000 a year job when you leave university as being normal. Building, working up that career ladder until you're making 40,000, maybe 60,000 if you're lucky, and if you've got a really high paying job, maybe 100K. But how long did it take you to get there? Once you can change your mindset and understand that your time is not of value, and in fact it's the results that you bring somebody, then you can start to believe how easy it is to make 10K per month. Get rid of the limiting beliefs and get rid of this idea that you are going to get lost amongst the crowd of all these people that are doing it so much better than you. This is probably one of the most common things I see as women thinking, well, why will anyone come to me when there's so many people better than me already out there? Scrap this imposter syndrome and really believe that you are capable of winning. The reason why people will come to you is because you are you. That is your unique selling point. So the first point is set up your mindset and believe it's possible to win. The second thing I would get you to focus on is values. You need to identify your own values. And although most people think that they have an idea of what they are, it's not until I ask them to sit down and write out their values that they actually have to really focus. Now, the reason why this is so important is because along your business journey, temptation will come to you. Money opportunities will come to you. And if they don't align with your values and you say yes, I am telling you, it will set you back in your time frame of achieving your goals in business, because it will take you off track of what is important to you and what is good in your life. And when you are not feeling happy or content with your decisions, you will not make the right decisions moving forwards. So identify your values early on, then make sure you never compromise them and you never take on any work that forces you to compromise those values. The next thing I would do would be really identify a profitable niche. Now, the biggest mistake that I see people make is they think about what things they really enjoy and how can they turn those into a business. This is the wrong way around, because for example, if you enjoy making cupcakes and you want to set up a cupcake business, but you haven't identified the niche and their spending power and how much money they can actually spend, then this is not going to be the right business for you, because you're not going to hit 10K per month. It's more of a side hustle. Maybe you'll be making £500, possibly £1,000. But if your goal is to get to £10,000 per month, you need to understand who has that money and who is ready to spend it right now. The most profitable niches right now, especially in the online world, are these four. Number 1, health. Number 2, wealth. Number 3, relationships. And number 4, spirituality. If you can understand the need of any of these 4 categories and you can find a way of solving a problem for them, then you have the opportunity to build a really successful business off the back of that. So you don't just want to think, right, okay, I'll do health and I'm going to start to do recipes. No, you now need to go into your market research and understand what other people are already doing that works really well and who has an offer out there that is going to get the best financial results in the shortest space of time. This is something we'll go into next, because the next thing is business discovery. Business discovery is where you have a really deep delve into what it is you enjoy. So yes, your passion is important. It is so key to make sure that you enjoy what you're doing. Your goal should not just be a financial one. The best types of businesses that I see are the ones that create the best impact. So what you enjoy doing, and whether that's helping people or it's based on your hobbies, is really important, but it's got to also align with a profitable niche. During that business discovery, you're going to identify your own skill sets, and people mistake skill sets for being what qualifications they got, what degree they got or didn't. Even people think it's just what work experience they have. Your skill sets go far beyond your career experience. What type of person are you? What skills do you bring to other people's lives on a daily basis? It could be communication. You might be really good at helping other people with problems. It could be a physical skill. Identifying all of your skills that you already have will help you fast track to making your 10K per month in the shortest time possible, because it's things you're already good at. You will not need to go out and learn a brand new skill and be starting from scratch. And during that business discovery, quite often people are surprised of the types of things that will sell. There are people selling courses or doing coaching and consulting on subjects that you don't even think are a possible thing. It could be mindset. It could be weight loss. It could be how to become good at investing. One of the best ways in business discovery to find a business that's right for you is to really think about solution-based businesses. A solution-based business is something that solves a problem. It's that simple. But you've got to understand that when there is a problem in somebody's life, it causes multiple pains. So for example, let's take weight loss. This is a really simple one. If somebody wants to lose 10 kg, how is that extra 10 kg making them feel? It's not just about looking good when you look in the mirror. It may make it difficult for them with their self-confidence. It may make it difficult for them when they are applying for a job. It may kill their confidence in being able to communicate with other people. It might reduce them going for a relationship with somebody of a higher quality because they think they're not good enough. All of these different pains are really big. For many women that I know, being overweight actually reduces them being able to play with their children properly because they're getting out of breath. Them not wanting to do activities that maybe include climbing or going over some rocks or at a beach because of their fear of falling. There are many pain points that come with a woman feeling that she is overweight. So if your solution that you're offering is helping a woman to lose 10 kg, you're not just helping her to lose weight, you are helping her in a multitude of pains that she feels within her life. So by solving the problem, you bring a solution to the pain, and all you've got to do is come up with the best way to help that person change those problems, remove the pains from their life, and get them to a place of happiness. This can be the case with absolutely anything. Even take what I do, for example. I help to coach women to make at least 10K per month. Now, this isn't just a financial goal that they're hitting. For many women, they maybe have children at home that they don't want to leave with carers throughout the day. Maybe it's a single parent. I work with so many mums that are single parents that can't be physically out of the house for 7-8 hours a day working a job, but they need to bring in income to help support their children. So me being able to help them to make 10K per month solves so many pains that are in their life. Even if maybe you're somebody who wants to spend more time focusing on your deen or spending time with your family and doing the things that you really enjoy in life, being able to travel the world and be anywhere you want. For me, I want to be able to pray in mosques around the world. These are all pains, and I have found a way to solve the pains because I solve the problem that causes the pain, which is being able to work remotely from anywhere you like and make at least 10K per month. So I have provided a solution for this by teaching women and coaching women how to set up their own successful businesses. This is the best way in business discovery to identify what will be the best business type for you. The next thing you're going to need to do is find a platform. Where are you going to tell everybody about what it is you offer? The best platforms at the moment do depend on what your niche market is and who it is you want to speak to and where those people are hanging out. You want to find your target audience that has the spending power and understand where do they spend their most time. Once you understand where they spend their most time, it's then easy to get your product or service in front of their eyes. It has never been easier than right now to do that either, because everybody has a mobile phone glued to their hand for hours every single day. So all you need to do is figure out how to get your product or service into the palm of their hand, using the right strategies and making sure that you're going onto the right platform to do this. The next thing is you need to create compelling content. You need to identify your target audience because you know what it is they want and you found out where they're hanging out, but how are they feeling? So you need to dig into those pains more and understand how to communicate with them with content that will make them think, she's talking to me. That is the message that you ideally want to get to them. You want to create a character. This is the best way that I get my mentees to start with this. a character of your ideal client. And then you want to imagine that you are talking to that character, that character is maybe sat on the sofa right now, feeling a certain way because of the problem that's in their life that you have the solution for. You want to be able to speak to that character and ask yourself, does every piece of my content that I make speak to that ideal client? The next point is that you want to create a good content strategy. You have that compelling content and you know how to speak to your ideal clients now, but what strategy do you have in place? Let me tell you, the best thing to do is to have 3 main types of content. So the first one is growth and engagement content. This is so that it spreads out so that more people are seeing what it is you do and are hearing your message. And ideally, you're speaking to exactly that ideal client with your growth content. The next type of content is your value content. And with this content, you're trying to provide as much value and advice and tips as possible to your ideal target audience for free. Now, don't worry that you think they're going to run off and just take your free information and never want to work with you. The people that are not ready to work with you will benefit from your free value content. And at some point in their journey, they will probably come back and reach out to you when they're ready. But those people that are ready to take the next step will still be reaching out to you. So you want them to imagine that you are giving them so much value for free that they then question, wow, if I get all of this for free, imagine what I would get from her if I was to pay her. The third type of content is your sales content. So you need to understand how to speak to somebody to engage them in wanting to spend money with you. And let me tell you, it's not about putting on a sale. In fact, it's not even about putting the price out there. It's about having the right conversation to make them think, yes, I want to find out more and I want to take the next step. And this is your sales content. So let me just give you a time frame of where we're at so far, because at this point I would expect you to be 3 months in, 2 to 3 months, depending on how much time you're putting into it. If you're giving 2 to 3 hours per day, then really at this point you should be growing a really great following and a great audience. But you can't just leave them there. And quite often what people do is they give them lots of value and they tell them about how they can solve their problems and their pains, but they never actually give them the opportunity to move forwards. So this is where you need to build a community and you need to start to engage with that community. People need just 3 things to want to purchase from you. They need to feel that they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And the only way for them to do that is for them to get to know you. Now, right now, one of the most popular businesses to have is a personal brand. And with a personal brand, you become the product or service. This isn't to say that you have to show your face, and this isn't to say that you can't have a business brand. These are both good options. But having a personal brand does allow your audience to get to know you much quicker. So if I wanted to make 10K per month in the fastest way possible, I would definitely be choosing a personal brand. Now you've identified your target audience, you've brought them in and you've built a community, and now they're getting to know you, they're starting to like you, and they're trusting what you're telling them. The next thing is that you need to optimize your profile to make sure that they know there is an offer available. There is something that you offer past the free value that you're showing them. In your profile, you want to be really clear on who you are, what it is you're good at, how this makes a difference to somebody's life, and what step that person should take. This is called a call to action. So have a call to action there available so that they know they can either send you a message or check a link. And this leads me on to my next point. You need to build a sales funnel. Now, I know that sounds complicated, but let me tell you, it's really not. It's just a process that your ideal client needs to go through to be able to work with you. So, for example, how are they going to know that something is available? What is that first point? How are they going to know the steps to take? When do they need to take those steps? And what will be the next stage? So for example, with my business mentorship, I only open up limited places at a time. When those places open up, people have the opportunity to apply, and they do that using a form. I built the form, and from the form, we then have a team that reaches out using WhatsApp, and this is what we call a qualification process. The WhatsApp conversation is there to check, is this person an ideal potential client? Either they are, and we'll move them forward, or they're not, and we'll let them know that this isn't right for them at the time. At that point, they then have the opportunity to speak with an enrollment coach to see whether what I offer is not just right for them, but to know that I can definitely help them achieve their goals, because you never want to be selling something that you're not able to fulfill. Always be organic, always be honest and always be authentic in whatever it is you have to offer people. And you being honest and telling them that you don't think this is right for them is going to be good for you. Don't just take people on just to make the money. For the people that manage to get through to the application stage of speaking with an enrollment coach, it's a very in-depth process where they get to learn about them and understand about their character, about their goals, and see whether they believe that that person is actually capable of achieving those goals. Because you also don't want to take on somebody that you don't believe is capable of getting the results that you offer, because this is not good for you and it's not good for them. Now let's talk about what it is you're offering them, because this is the next stage. You need to make sure that you have an irresistible offer. It needs to be so stacked with value that when the person actually comes to you and decides that they're thinking they want to work with you, that they are even more surprised at how much you can actually help them and support them on their journey. So this is the best way to make sure that you are over delivering. Put so much good stuff in what it is you have to offer that the person is blown away and has no choice but to really want to work with you. Now let's just talk about pricing for a second. If I wanted to get to 10K per month in the fastest way possible, this is the pricing structure I would use. I would focus on what we call high ticket sales. High ticket sales are anything between 3,000 up. There is no limit on them. Some people are charging 100,000 for a high ticket sale. I would pick 3 price points and I would start with my mid-range offer first. So you want to be able to have an offer that is around 5,000. £5,000, 5,000 euros, $5,000, it doesn't matter. And you want to sell this because if you sell 2 per month, then you've already hit your 10K, which is why this is the fastest way to be able to achieve your goals. Now you might be thinking, who's going to pay 5K? People are paying 5K every single day. And if you've still got the old mindset, which I had, to be honest, of thinking that you sell time for money, then you need to pay attention to what these 20-year-olds are doing, because they are crushing it. They are charging 5K for courses to help people achieve all sorts of things, and people are happy to pay it. Mindsets have changed. It's changing that people want to spend £60,000 on a degree that's going to take them 3 years, and at the end of the 3 years they're going to have a certificate, but they're not going to have any work experience yet, and then they're going to have to start their experience journey. The chance of them making 10K per month anytime soon is very minimal. Let's be realistic. Whereas if you get a coach that helps you to achieve your goals, it will fast track you there, because that person will work with you one-to-one and they will give you all of the steps based on their own experience and their own skill sets. This is what you want to be doing. You want to help somebody else fast track to their own results. Now, as you launch your offer to the public, please remember, you don't want to sell to everybody. In fact, if you sell to everybody, you're selling to no one. So you need to be clear on who it is that you're speaking to when you're in your sales phase. You only want to attract your ideal client. Now, to get people to buy from you, this is what you need. These 2 things: scarcity and urgency. You need to have a limited amount available of whatever it is that you're offering, and there needs to be a sense of urgency that they need to purchase it within a certain period, or they can only apply within a certain period. This gets people excited and makes them feel like, well, I'm going to miss out. FOMO is a real thing. Now, as we're getting towards the end of you easily being able to hit your 10K per month, you also need to understand sales, because you may have the perfect product or service, and you may have identified your perfect audience. You may be speaking directly to them with a great marketing strategy in place, and they have come to you now and said, I'm interested, but you don't know how to sell. The thing with high ticket sales is selling is not really a thing. I would say the actual sales part is probably around 1 or 2%, and it's just a decision-making process for the person. You are not trying to convince anybody. In fact, it is the other way round. They need to convince you as to why you should select them for the opportunity to be able to work with you. So you need to learn the sales techniques of how to sell and how to handle something called objection handling, which is how to deal with their objections of things that they're not sure about or why they might be scared to move forwards. Now, back to the time frames. At this point, you should be at the 4 to 5 month period. Now, at this point, what I would be doing is getting some test clients, because let me tell you, you learn more from other people than you do from yourself. That's just a fact. So getting some paid test clients, never free. Free test clients are not going to take it seriously. But some paid test clients will give the opportunity to look for any holes in what it is that you've brought, and any questions that they ask you, you're then going to provide this back as value for future clients that are signing up with you. So your first proper launch will be for test clients, and it's just a practice run for you to get familiar with how to do that and how to use your sales funnel properly. But that doesn't mean that during that kind of 4th or 5th month that you won't get real people applying, actually ready to pay and work with you for full price. I have one client right now with 600 followers, and she made £3,100 in her first month of launching. Now we're getting to the end game of you hitting your 10K, and this is where it gets easy. Now you just need to do a self-analysis. Look back over all of the work that you've done so far and have a look at what worked best. Whatever it is, you're now going to do more of it, do it better, 10 out of 10, the best that you can do. And if you want to give it that extra boost at this point, any money that you made from your test clients, now put it into paid advertising. You're going to get the fastest results. And at this point, we should be at month 6. Month 6, you should at least be having 10K per month. From here, moving forwards. All you've got to do from here is decide, do you want to stay at 10K per month or do you want to grow more? I hope these tips were helpful for you. Give me a follow if you want more value, because I will teach you everything you need to know. Assalamu alaikum.